Hi, my name is Paige Pierce and this is my In the Bag. First of all, I'm using an EMAC Ranger bag and my DD cart. I'm loving it. Today was actually the first day I've ever used it and I love it. I'm going to start with drivers since that's the first thing we do when we walk up to a tee pad is grab our driver. My longest range driver that I'm throwing right now are the Sheriffs. I've been using Lucid and I just put the Fusion in. I think the difference is very minimal, so it's really just a preference on what plastic type you like the most. What I use the Sheriff for is really long range drives. So if I really crank on it, it'll turn right and then hyzer back at the end and allow the max distance. My next farthest thrower is the Defender. I prefer it in the BioFusion. I feel like it gets a little bit more glide and gets me the farthest potential in the disc. I like the domey ones that feel a little bit stiffer. I feel that the dome kind of allows some wind to get under it and carry a little bit longer. I throw these in actually a 168 range, 170 maybe. I can really torque on these and turn them and they will come back to the left. Or if I want a long range overstable disc, you know, for a longer hyzer, this is what I'll go with. Next up is the Bio Enforcer. This disc has quickly grown to be one of my favorite drivers I have in my bag. I think 9 times out of 10, if I'm throwing a driver, it will be this. I'm throwing it really hard and flat and letting it pop up to flat and ride the hyzer line. I call this a push hyzer. Bobby's asked me what that means before. So how do I describe it is I'm throwing it on a hyzer angle and it'll push on that hyzer angle without actually hyzering. So it just goes really far and very, very, very reliable, straight and left finish. Next up, and this one's kind of in and out of my bag, certain occasions, the Trespass. I also like this in BioFusion plastic. You're gonna see this a lot in my drivers, BioFusion. I think it's the best plastic for going farther. It's a little more understable, so you can get the full S flight out of the shot. The Trespass, why I love it is it's a great understable driver. It's a good complement to the Defender and the Enforcer in that what these things will do, but they'll finish to the left, this will do the same but finish to the right. So if I pop it flat, it'll steadily turn to the right, or if I want a long range anhyzer shot that always travels from left to right as a right-handed player, I will throw the Trespass up and high to the right and let it glide. Now into the fairway drivers. Everyone, I'm sure, throws a Felon. Lucid Felon is a great, great, great disc. Very reliable, overstable finish. Pretty much like an Enforcer, but a little bit shorter. Convict is my go-to. I throw it probably 90% of shots that are within 300 to 400 feet. I will throw the Convict every time. It's such a great disc, and that's why I was lucky enough to get my signature on it. If I put it on a hyzer, it'll stay on hyzer. If I pop it flat, it'll travel flat for 80% of its flight and then dump left. And if I want to put a little turn on it, it'll hold the turn for, you know, 60% of its flight and then start to come flat and overstable finish. I feel like sometimes I even underestimate it. I think it's gonna flip, but it doesn't, and it just continues straight with the overstable finish. It's awesome, awesome, awesome disc. This next one is the Bio Escape. This is in my bag sometimes. It will be making the bag this weekend, as you know, there's some wooded holes that I can use this on. It's similar to the Convict, but it's a little flippier. It flips quicker into the flight. Like I said, the Convict will turn a little bit right, but it will come back. The Escape will not come back, and the Escape flips quicker into the flight. So it's a touchier disc, and I think it's good for the woods. That's why I really love it. That's it for fairways and drivers. Next up is mids. Most of my mids are gonna be EMAC Truce. I actually throw it in Moonshine, Lucid, and Fusion. The Moonshine is great for overstable mid shots that you really want to power and put some power behind and continue straight with a left finish. Lucid, I don't have in my bag this weekend, but I wish I did. It's just dead straight, absolutely dead straight, never deviates left and right. And then the Fusion is dead straight, and the last 20% of its flight, it'll drift off to the right. So I think all three of those are amazing mid-ranges that you definitely want to put in your bag. And my last mid is the Verdict. This is such a great disc. I've been learning it more and more every tournament and starting to rely on it. It's very overstable. It's a lot like the Moonshine EMAC Truth, honestly, but a touch more overstable. So if you like a Moonshine EMAC, try out the Lucid Verdict if you want a little bit more stability at the end of the flight. Last up are the putters and approach discs. I throw the Suspect a lot. You'll see probably 50% of my up shots are going to be with a Fusion Suspect. I throw it for sidearm up shots that I want to just push forward and dump left at the end, or right at the end. And if I'm throwing it backhand, I just push it flat and it'll travel flat for 90% of its flight and then just dump a little bit left at the end. Really reliable, great for up shots. I think these next three discs are going to be really important, because I think up shots are probably the most important part of disc golf. So check out a Fusion Suspect. I can't recommend that enough. And lastly are my Marshalls. I throw it in Prime and Classic. The Prime's a little bit more overstable and it's stiffer. So if you like a stiffer plastic and you love the Marshall, try the Prime. And then the Classic is a little bit straighter. So I throw it for most of my up shots that I just want to be straight, never deviating, and just right under the basket. And that's it for my disc. Besides my putters, I putt with the BT Swans. I'm going to be switching to the Deputies, but as of now, these Swans are absolutely incredible. They just go exactly where I release them. That way, if I miss a putt, I know that it was my mistake. I can't stress enough like how much a straight putter will help your game. That way, you never have to aim away from the basket. You never have to aim and hope it hyzers. Yeah, that's pretty much my in the bag.